What up, bitches? Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? Welcome to Hollywood After Dark. I have to remember what the hell this whole thing is called. It's almost midnight. I got home tonight a little bit later than I wanted to from going out and providing what some might call an essential service during these trying times. Really, it's just like go to McDonald's and pick up someone's food and drop it off. All in all, pretty laid back, light evening. Dealt with one woman who had flown into town from California, who was an absolute anti-vaxxer, anti-masker, and thought that COVID wasn't that big of a deal. And when I told her that I had lost people to COVID, she goes, "Well, yeah, me too, but I still don't really believe that it's real." And I'm like, something about this conversation seems off. However, that was pretty much my evening in a nutshell. Not too much else going on today, though. Kind of a decent day for some news, a decent day for some things to happen. We finally got confirmation of the one topic that was on everyone's mind, every comic book movie fan's mind, was whether or not Warner Brothers was going to push Wonder Woman 84 for Best Picture. That's a thing we're going to talk about here in a few minutes. Also, Deadpool 3, R-rated, and in the MCU, right? Because that's something we all really wanted. Then there's some other controversy going on with apparently Nicole Kidman being cast as fucking Lucille Ball and Javier Bardem as Desi Arnaz. It should be fascinating. See that play. I don't even know why that's a thing. I don't even know how they thought that Nicole Kidman could do Lucille Ball. You know, it just seems weird to me that that's the casting choice, considering that other people might be a bit more better off in the role. And then Javier Bardem, who I do like, by the way, quite a bit, but he doesn't strike me as the Desi Arnaz type. Like, if you want someone in Hollywood to play Desi Arnaz, this might be a little bit on the stereotypical side. But, you know, like someone like John Leguizamo could play Desi Arnaz. You know, hell, Carlos Mencia could kind of do it. Maybe Luis Guzman could do it. You know, they're good character actors, right? Or if you want to have a contemporary comedian do it, perhaps this might be the push that that Fluffy needs in order to drop all that weight. But still, Javier Bardem as fucking Desi Arnaz. That to me is weirder than Nicole Kidman as Lucille Ball. Now, my question then becomes, in this movie that they're going to be making, I guess it's for Netflix, are they going to talk about how Lucille Ball is the key reason why Star Trek survived, why Star Trek made it to air? That's the story I care about, not about, you know, like the fact that by the end of their career, they hated each other. You know, the Lucille Ball story, I think, is really only going to, like, I don't know, a biopic on Lucille Ball doesn't really do it for me. Keji here says, who and who? That's the point. That's the point. Who and who, Keji? Most people, the younger millennial crowd, is not going to know. Not going to have any inkling of an understanding who Lucille Ball or Desi Arnaz is. I grew up in the 1980s and 1990s. Nick at Night was a thing. I watched a lot of I Love Lucy back in the day. Same with like The Munsters and Gilligan's Island. So I grew up watching those shows, very similar to how my parents grew up watching those shows. My kids aren't going to watch those shows. My kids won't give a shit about those shows. Let me put it to you like this, right? My daughter, 3 years old, wants to watch this YouTube show called Little Baby Bum. That's what it's called. Little Baby Bum. It's what it is. And it's all animated songs and shit. But hey, the truth of the matter is she's learning from it. And we sing a lot of the songs together, so she picks it up through repetition. And she loves to watch Little Baby Bum because it's something she can understand. Now, today in our YouTube recommendations, somehow, for some reason, Berenstain Bears. They had a half-hour animated series for Berenstain Bears. That popped up. So I put that on for her, thinking, hey, this is what I grew up with. I grew up reading Berenstain Bears. about Mama Bear, Papa Bear, Brother Bear, Sister Bear. I grew up reading those books, loving those books. And we tried watching the show and she was like uninterested. And then I'm like thinking about like showing her like Tintin because I fucking love Tintin. Maybe it's on HBO Max. I doubt it though. Might have to go digging to the annals of the internet to find that one. But, you know, she wouldn't like Tintin because the stuff we grew up watching is going to be absolutely different than the stuff that we get, you know. So, I mean, for me, because of the separation difference in the decades was still there, but because technology hadn't quite caught up yet, I could experience things that my parents experienced in a very similar fashion. But because of the rampant technological advances, my kids are going to be like, my kids ain't going to watch 1987 Ninja Turtles. They might one day. You know, my daughter's not going to get a kick out of Gummy Bears. I'm hoping she does. I fucking love that show. You know, on Disney Plus, my daughter watches Fancy Nancy about a 6-year-old Frenchophile, which, all things considered, having anything with children and then the word file in a description may not be the best thing to advertise the product. It's not a bad show, but it's what she's described as, and it's not the best thing. Anyway, H-Bart's $5, dude, right off the bat. Thank you so much. Listening to this at work, awesome. I want to do more of these at night, to be honest with you. I got to keep up on doing live streams on the channel. I'm doing other stuff like long-form scripted content, as well as other podcasts. I've made the decision now. I'm making the transitional decision to refer to myself as a podcaster versus a YouTuber. And when we can get past the winter, which is just ruining my mental health, by the way. And I say this because I've got what's called seasonal effectiveness disorder. And I get it every year from roughly about like November to the middle of February. What that is because where I live is so dark and so gray. Like I got up this morning at like 8:30 and it was like so cloudy and so dark. I looked outside and I thought that it was like 6 a.m. It was a little bit of light and it just zaps my energy and it just makes me like super lethargic and super depressed. And even though I'm on antidepressants for anxiety and other issues, that doesn't necessarily help. So I'm kind of a fucking mess between November and the middle of February. This is one of the reasons why I talk so fondly about Southern California. I get that vitamin D a lot more in Southern California. Here, not so much. But, you know, that's a problem I personally deal with. And it's why I'm more active in the evening than I am in the morning. I'm a dead weight in the morning. It's terrible. Anyway, thank you very much for that. Yeah, Music Man here says, sorry to hear that. No, it's all good, dude. It's like it's difficult because I have kids and that only like adds to it. It's like because I want to make sure that like I'm there for my daughters, but there's mornings where I'm just like dead to the world. And I drink caffeine. It does nothing. I'll drink like a coffee from Starbucks. We're talking like a 450 milligram of caffeine sweet cream cold brew that I like. And then I'll go black out for 2 hours. You know what I mean? Like caffeine has like no effect on me during this time of year because it just weighs me down. And it might be also why I'm more agitated. I just want to make that abundantly clear. It's like not an excuse for being an asshole in some cases, but it's one of the reasons. Anyway, Geek Studios here. He gets it, man. He understands. He's been there. Let's see. Underhaven here says, winter is depressing. Winter is the shit. I should say when I say the shit, I don't mean that in a good way. It's just shitty. I love the rain. I do. I love that it was pouring down rain tonight. It's awesome. But God damn it, fucking slow it down a bit. Washington. It's like if you were to equate rain as God pissing on you, he pisses on this area constantly. We got 8 inches in the last week. 8 inches. The last time, you know, I mean, like we're talking like this is some John Holmes, Ron Jeremy size inches here. If this rain was a porn star, it would be AVN's star of the year. That is how much rain we got. Anyway, let me take a look here. Some questions before we dive into everything else. Tom Hanks Ballsack 69 Hui asks the question, Sir Jarbo, who would you cast as the big screen version of Gilligan and the Skipper? This is going to, okay, so honestly, I think like part of me kind of wants to do like Alec Baldwin as the Skipper. I don't know why I'm drawn to Baldwin, but that's a bit more of a dramatic, you know, like Brian Dennehy would have been a great Skipper, but you know, rest in peace. But for Gilligan, Andy Samberg would be the guy I would choose. Andy Samberg or maybe John Mulaney. I think they could play off like the goofier type of thing. And then Allison Brie as Marianne or Ginger. I don't care. Put Allison Brie in there. Helen Mirren as the millionaire and his wife. And who could play the professor, right? Liam Neeson as the professor, I think would be good because he had that sexual energy with I think with Ginger, right, in the show. Because he was plowing them. He was plowing them both. If you ever watched Gilligan's Isle, you know that 3-hour tour turned into a 6-year bone fest. Is all I'm trying to say. All right, DJ Mitz here says in reference to rain, God's golden shower. I know it's like I don't know why it's terrible. Let's see here. Anthony asked a question. When do you think we're going to see the trailer for Uncharted? Well, they just released some images the other day, and those are pretty cool. I think I mean, they just moved Morbius back to October, and Spider-Man 3 is still on track for December, as far as I know. So Morbius, so June, we're going to see it in June because that's when Venom 2 opens, and they're going to want to tie that in. So we're going to see it around June, maybe Memorial Day. I can't wait. I'm really excited. Andrew here asked a question. When do you think the first trailer for Spider-Man 3 that will show Tobey and Andrew's return? They're not going to show that, man. They're not going to show that at all. They would only show that in the trailer if that was like the minimalist of like reveals in the movie. There's no way they're going to do that. Like, there's just no way. I know in the Civil War trailer, Spider-Man was like the big thing on the trailer, but that was fine because that was just showing that they made it work. This one though, it's like they're not going to show you. They're not going to show you. And I know Kevin Feige said some of the casting rumors is true. Some of the casting rumors are not. We don't know which one those are yet. But I think the ones everyone wants to know is obviously Tobey and Andrew. Let's see here. When do I think we're going to see the Godzilla v Kong trailer? Man, fuck if I know. Jesus, they've held that movie so long that it's going to be dated technology by the time it finally comes out. Although I think they did work a deal with Legendary to pay Legendary to put Godzilla v Kong on HBO Max. And I'm telling you, man, like if I can go see a movie in the theater, I will go see Godzilla v Kong in theaters first, 100%. Music Man asks, do you think the next MCU films will be good, especially Spider-Man 3? Yeah, you know what? I think Black Widow is going to be fun. I do. Black Widow, the trailer looks like fun. The Eternals, is that even coming out this year or has that been bumped to next year? I don't even know. I don't even care. Like, the Eternals is something I haven't given a shit about, and I think because they haven't shown anyone anything of it yet. Nothing. There's been a poster? Some animated graphic work. There's been nothing that they've shown. So it becomes this problem where, you lose interest in. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm going to go see it, obviously, because, I'm a corporate shill or I'm a consumer. I support Marvel. Like they could do a thing where it's like, do you want to go see Spider-Man 3? You have to get this enema. And I'd be like, fuck it, enema. Just clean me out and I'll go watch the movie. You know what I mean? Oh, Scalding Hot Water. Yeah, okay. I have a review to make. Like that sort of thing. That's how I would do it. But no, really, and I don't know, man. I'm hoping that we get some good movies out of this. I think Spider-Man and Black Widow are going to be good. Shang-Chi should be pretty dope. And then Black Panther 2 focusing on other characters should be interesting. But that's a Phase 5 movie, isn't it? Or I don't even know, because Feige would not confirm when Phase 4 ended, which is one of those moments, one of those things. Do I think we'll see something for the Suicide Squad soon? Yes, I do. I think we will. I think we will once we get past the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is going to have a lot of big name trailers drop as well. So when I talk about maybe we're going to get a teaser for Uncharted at the Super Bowl. Zeros to Heroes asks, what percentage of movies do you think will be pushed back again or chucked to streaming? A lot. With Sony dropping Morbius back to the fall. And keep in mind, in 2 months, Ghostbusters Afterlife is supposed to come out. In 2 months. It ain't coming out in March. So that one I don't think they're going to put that one on streaming. I think that one's going to stay for theaters. And I support that one staying in theaters. But I don't know, man. I think we're going to see it like Bond. I think Fast and Furious is going to get pushed back. It's going to be really dependent on when Biden becomes president and when we start really rolling out the vaccine in a way that's not an epic clusterfuck, which is what we're seeing in a number of areas. Plus, I mean, hell, Disneyland, part of that is turning into a vaccine distribution center because Disney ain't messing around anymore. I'm pretty sure Disney has floated the concept of hiring private security to go to every single person's house in Anaheim and forcibly make them take the vaccine. Forcibly. I bet you they've had those conversations because you know what? They want their fucking money. They want their people cured, and they're like, we will make you do it and you will take it. Because nobody fucks with the House of Mouse. We've learned that over the years. And then also Dodger Stadium is turning into a massive vaccination center in Los Angeles where it's crazy there right now. And so, I mean, this is the thing. This is the reality of it. Like I've said before, and I'll say it again, if you want to get back to normal faster, if you see somebody like not wearing a mask that you know, shame them. Like on post it to Facebook. Go, fucking Ben here won't wear a fucking mask. Fuck you, Ben. I want to see my grandparents. Or like, fuck you, Ben. I want to watch Black Widow. Or something along those lines in order to make sure that Ben knows to stop being a chucklefuck. Not everyone's going to do it. There's actually been violence. I'm not going to lie on this one. There's been violence. In my state, particularly. In my town, particularly. A woman told a guy, put on your mask at a local store. So he like pulled out a gun. Right. And then like in another one, not too far away, a woman told another guy to pull out to put on a mask. So he pulled out a gun and he shot her. So some people take that shit real seriously. But I think that once we get away from like the last week, which I'm trying not to delve too much in politics because I want this to be more of a fun thing. But the further we get away from last week and the closer, and then the more we get into the next administration, as more experts start to take over and we start to get better data and better control, we'll start to see how things will change. But like the thing is, we still have to take those precautions. And that is the reason why we are where we find ourselves. All right, let's see here. Am I going to review WandaVision? Yeah, I'm going to review it. I'm looking forward to watching it in a couple nights. I get my new TV on Thursday. Fuck yeah. So I'm getting a 55-inch Samsung like 4K that I decided to splurge on because it was on sale and everything. So, you know, streamlabs.com/Matt. No, I'm kidding. But so I got that coming in and I'm going to be watching it on there and then I'll be reviewing it. I'm trying to figure out a new way to review stuff, you know, rather than just like talking about it, because I kind of feel like I get lost in the details when I just kind of ramble on. And I've been getting into writing more stuff and like doing it on teleprompters and enjoying it. So I'm, again, quality over quantity, but I like doing these live streams where we just kind of hang out and chat. And of course, at least once a week, we'll do a nearly midnight movie chat. And that's going to be the call-in night, just so we keep it fresh and people who want to come in can chat. Because we do get a lot of the same people, which is great. But I do think some people might feel like intimidated by that. And so they don't call in. So I want to make sure that's the thing. All right. Let's see here. Tom Hanks, Paul Sack 69, he says, have you heard the rumor that Dr. Doom is debuting in Black Panther 2? Do you think that this might be partly due to Chadwick Boseman's unexpected death? I think they're going to make Black Panther 2 a stepping stone film. It just makes the most amount of sense to have it be a stepping stone film. If they do it like that, then they're going to be able to introduce characters and I think Fantastic Four is going to be brought up in Black Panther 2. And I feel bad for Ryan Coogler because, you know, he's the director. He's going to come in to write and direct this thing. And without Chadwick Boseman, he's going to get Jon Favreau for Iron Man 2. Let's be realistic here. You know, Feige wanted Iron Man 2 to be a stepping stone to Avengers. Black Panther 2, because of Chadwick's unfortunate passing, is the perfect stepping stone for more integration. So I feel like that one is going to be the best one for it. But there is going to be that cost with the characters. And I like the characters quite a bit. I loved all the supporting cast in Black Panther. And I actually even said at the time that it felt like Black Panther was kind of a secondary character in his own movie because you had the other characters and they got a lot of screen time and a lot of action and a lot of play. So if they do that again here, it could work out real well. But who's going to be the main character? Who's going to be the main character? That's what I want to know. Because if it's not Black Panther, then what the fuck are you going to call it? I mean, it's probably going to be Shuri. Let's be real. But there's that. All right. Let's see here. All right. Jack says, I went into Walmart, saw someone not wearing a mask. I called them out and then I walked out. Nice. I did that in a Dollar Tree. I thought I was going to get my ass beat. So I'm a lot more brutal now in how I handle it. Like I was at Safeway the other day and I'm buying myself some caffeine and this woman behind me is wearing her mask like a chin diaper. And I have my mask on and she's like, oh, so this COVID thing's kind of a hoax, right? Like she just like fucking says, she's looking for validation. She's looking for validation to be a bitch. Let's be fair. She's looking for validation to be a bitch. She doesn't want to wear it in public. She's being forced to wear it. So she's just going to be a bitch about it. And she wants to make sure. So I said, yeah, I thought the same thing until 3 people I know passed away from it. But I say it very matter of fact, right? Like I say it very matter of fact. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I said, yeah, it's hard to tell that it can kill you until it takes someone that you love. And this was on Christmas Eve, by the way. And I said, no, they said Merry Christmas. And I got my stuff and I walked out. Hopefully that changed her life or ruined her Christmas. And you might call me a dick. Now, I'm going to blame the weather and also the pandemic, but fuck you. I want to go see a movie. So wear a fucking mask. Anyway, let's see here. Ryan asks, did I check out Primal? I did not. That's my bad. Anthony asks, are you doing phone calls during that time? Yeah, during Nearly Midnight Movie Chat, we'll do it. Otherwise, I'm going to be on for like 2 hours and it starts to burn me out. If I do every day, I could do 30, 40 minutes a day. Not a problem, right? That would be easy to chat with you guys about stuff. Not an issue. If I start doing call-ins, that takes a lot longer. Those usually go to 2 to 2.5 hours, sometimes 3 hours, depending on the conversation, which are fun. But if those start racking up night after night after night, I get burned the hell out. And then I just stop doing it. I go play video games because that's how I recharge. So I've got to start spacing it out in order to be able to not burn myself out. So yeah, when I do them, we'll do a phone call in. I have to send my car into the shop. That's going to take about 2 weeks. So I'll be able to spend a little bit more time in the evening because I won't be able to go out driving. So you'll be hearing me shill a whole hell of a lot more, just saying. All right. Let's see here. Jay says, I want to see Dune so bad. Me too, man. Me too. And it's one that I want to see in IMAX. It's one that I want to see on the big screen. I really want to see how they bring this movie to life. But I'll settle for HBO Max. But I saw Blade Runner 2049 and in a large format screen, not IMAX, but it was something like that. And it was nice. It was really good. And I just want to see what this director does. I can never pronounce his fucking name, so I always kind of like dance around it. But I want to see what this guy can do. I'm looking forward to it. All right. Let's see here. Joe Cronin says, excited for Dune. Get the home theater going. Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, if you got the sound system for it, fuck yeah. Let's see. Geek Studios asks, how's original Dune? Is it any good? Here's the thing. The original Dune, like David Lynch, that movie physically pains David Lynch to talk about. He will not talk about that movie at all. He will not participate in Q&As. He won't work on any kind of special edition DVD of it. He wants to forget that he ever made that movie because there's a lot of problems with it. It's a fun movie. By fun, I mean, it's like you can look at it and be, okay, yeah, for the 80s, this was interesting. None of the effects really hold up. It's an interesting movie. I do want to go watch it again before seeing this remake because I want to refresh my memory. But I would say watch it, but go in with tempered expectations. There are people out there who love it, but there's also the Frank Herbert's Dune sci-fi series adaptation, which I think was 10 hours long. And a lot of people seem to call that more of a definitive take. So that might be something worth looking into. But if you want to see the Lynch version from the 80s, complete with Patrick Stewart in the movie and Sting and Brad Dourif and Kyle MacLachlan and everything else, then yeah, you may want to go check it out. And it's worth checking it out, by the way. It really is worth checking it out. Let's see here. The Dune miniseries was good, but it hasn't been released outside of poor quality DVDs. Really? They never did Frank Herbert's Dune on Blu-ray? Let me take a look at this here. Frank Herbert's Dune on Blu-ray. All right, let's see here. According All right. Amazon.com has got the Dune miniseries in Blu-ray for $17.50. But you can also buy the audio DVD. The fuck? The audio DVD is $29. What the fuck is an audio DVD? What the hell? I'm not even kidding you. Audio DVD. This is a real thing. This is a real. I'm going to bring it up here. I want you guys to see this, so you don't think I'm crazy. But this is a real thing. What in the hell is? It says Dune complete miniseries. Oh, okay. But they have it listed here as the audio DVD, right? Like, I mean, look at that audio DVD. I wonder if it's this different region, but you can get the Blu-ray for $17.50. Although, look at this, look at this cover here. Is this printed off of like someone's computer? I mean, look at the image here for like full HD 1080. What the hell? Running time 280 minutes, 1080i, high definition color. What the fuck? 1080 interlaced. That's not a progressive image. It's interlaced frames. Like it. Oh, this has got to be like what they pulled off a TV. Oh no, this is the 1974 version. Oh, this isn't the fucking sci-fi movie. Okay, my bad. All right, what's this one here? Is this the sci-fi one? Children of Dune. Which was this the miniseries? I don't even know, man. Oh no, here it is. Dune miniseries Blu-ray. Well, I mean, it's the same one, yeah. I mean, this one's all sorts of fucking weird. Because it's like, look here. It says William Hurt stars. Oh no, sorry. I read it wrong. This isn't from 1974. This is the William Hurt one. So yeah, I don't know, man. This might be something worth checking out if it's something that you're really into. I don't know. It just seems really weird to me, to be honest with you. Audio DVD equals vinyl, says Shidoko. Yeah, I kind of agree. Music Man says, when it comes to films from the 80s, if you had to, what films would you remake or reboot? I'm not a big fan of rebooting films or remaking films from the 80s, but there are movies that like have a good script but terrible effects. And it's like, you know, like Clash of the Titans, I think has a good script. And all they need to do is just like take that script and remake the movie. What they did 10 years ago or 11 years ago now with the Sam Worthington movie was okay, but it was like the fact that Merlin was, like Archimedes was just like tossed aside as an Easter egg pissed me the fuck off, man. I loved Archimedes when I watched Clash of the Titans back in the day. So it's like, just remake the original Clash of the Titans with the original script. And like, that could be cool. Or, man, like, nah, even the creature features like Chud and like House and Critters, you know, like Dolls. It's just like, there's so many really cheesy films that like work for the time they were released and they're fun to go back to. You know, remaking them just feels like soulless and pointless, because when you make a movie like that, when you have a movie like that, it's one of those things where you're like, I don't know. You know, like, I don't really know. It's you leave it where it is. It's a time capsule for when it was made. When you remake it, it just feels like a cash grab most of the damn time. So there's that. All right. So Underraven here asks, what's the difference between 1080i and 1080p? So 1080p is a progressive frame, meaning that like it's just one image. 1080i means 1080 interlaced. So it's the frames are kind of like, I'm trying to think how I learned about it in film school. Basically, remember when you would watch like TV the first time you had 1080p in television, and it would like, you could kind of see like the individual lines sometimes. That was 1080i. That was the interlaced. The 1080p was the progressive, which is just like the same frame. It's just one frame. It's not a bunch of interlacing lines, which is what 1080i is. And I'm like literally 2005 to now, so 16 years removed from when I first learned about this. But Frank Herbert's Dune, if they released it in 1080i, means that's what they fucking like. That's what they they transferred it to. That's how they distributed it, which is like, holy shit. Go back and just get the negative and scan that shit frame by frame, man. Let's see here. Godzilla King of the Monsters is pure sex with good action. Damn straight. A Chopping Mall reboot might be watchable then. I don't know, DJ Mitz. The guy who made Chopping Mall is kind of a bastard, I think, right? So is that. Let's see here. Did I hear that Peter Dinklage was going to play in the Toxic Avenger remake? I did. I don't know who he's playing though. But you know what? I mean, I don't know why. What the hell is Lloyd Kaufman up? Does Lloyd Kaufman need money that bad? That's my question. Is Lloyd Kaufman that hard up for cash that he's going to go remake Toxie? Does I mean, like, no, man. It's got like the low budget aesthetic of Toxic Avenger is one of the things that makes it work. How bad it is one of the things that makes it work. I mean, they took this horror movie, this low budget horror movie, turned it into a franchise, and then even a fucking cartoon series. But then again, everything in the 80s had a cartoon series. So, you know, it's that whole situation. Let's see here. I don't mean to be political, but I prefer 1080 progressive. Ha ha ha. Fourth here says it's an image made of broken lines that flash really fast. Yeah, it's interlaced. You know, it's like a deck of cards you kind of together. Yeah, Keji, there's going to be a Toxic Avenger remake. I know it's stupid and what the hell. Is Sergeant Kabuki Man next? I would assume that the likelihood of them actually doing a Kabuki Man reference in Toxic Avenger is probably pretty high, because if Lloyd Kaufman is anything, he's a businessman and he understands a lot. And he actually, like, I followed him recently on Twitter and he followed me back and like commented on one of my posts. So he's like really active on shit. And I respect the fuck out of Lloyd Kaufman. I really do. So I don't like, he's got to have something up his sleeve, because the Trauma films, man, like there's some great shit. There's actually, if you were ever looking, if you ever wanted to know, and this is true, let's see here. Let me take a look. Kaufman. He did this DVD series. Yeah, he did this. Is it okay? He's got a book here, but he had a DVD series called Lloyd Kaufman Sell Your Own Damn Movie, right? And I'll bring up the page. But he actually, I rented this from Netflix like a long time ago, because they did a document, like a whole DVD set. It's like 4 or 5 discs, and it's how to sell your own movie. And he would sit there and like walk you through the process of how to like get investors and like how to make the movie and how to make it low budget, you know. And he's coming at this with 40 years of trauma selling magic revealed, learn sales secrets from those who sold Twilight, Poultrygeist, Paranormal Activity, and many more, because everyone loves Lloyd fucking Kaufman. Because the guy is great. I think he did here, like, yeah, direct your own damn movie, produce your own damn movie. You gotta love Lloyd Kaufman. The guy knows how to like put on a hell of a show. You know, his movies are pretty bad. It was fucking fun. There's only one Chupacabra. There's one DVD that I have of Legend of the Chupacabra. Right. So this is a 2000 mockumentary, right? This is a 2000 mockumentary about going to Mexico and trying to find the Chupacabra. It is fucking atrocious. It is absolutely terrible. I found this on DVD when it wasn't Tower Records. It was another like music chain. I forget what they were called, but they were going out of business. And I bought this DVD for like $2 and I watched it, and it's fucking terrible. And you know what we might have to do? I might have to rent it and standard definition, buy it for $20. Fuck you. That's way too much money. Like, buy it for $2. I would buy it for $2. Buy it for 20, eat a dick. But we should do a watch party, like on Twitch or something. I'll have to bring out the Twitch channel and like sit there and watch this one night. It is god fucking awful. And speaking of that, we do need to also set up a time for doing another Hollywood After Dark trailer park, because that was a lot of fun. Let's see here. All right. Have I seen the Jodorowsky's Dune documentary? I haven't. I have not seen it yet. All right, let's see here. Cass right here says he and Roger Corman are god in India films. Yeah, man. Corman, like I saw this one Corman movie once with Josh Brolin, right? Let me see if I can fucking find it here. Josh Brolin. Brolin, Roger Corman. It was this movie I saw on Showtime one night where it was it was like an apocalyptic film where it's not Josh, it's James Brolin. It's let me see if I might have to Google that one. It's Josh Brolin's dad. It's James Brolin. Okay, here we go. It's called Terminal Fucking Virus. All right, and this movie exists. It really, really, really exists. And I saw it one night on Showtime. So it says it's a 1995 American film produced by Roger Corman, starring James Brolin, and it's 23 years after a big war has left a sexually transmitted virus that makes reproduction impossible. An outlaw and the son of a pioneering scientist who developed a possible cure before he was murdered try to convince a suspicious population to give serum a chance. Yeah. This movie exists. They called it Generation Zero, but I saw it under the name, I believe I saw it under the name Terminal Virus when I saw it on Showtime. Basically, think Mad Max, because that's kind of what it is. It's Mad Max. And people can't, if they have sex, they die. So men and women separate into different camps. And then when they find out there's this possible vaccine, they have to convince people, they have to go out and they have to capture a woman and capture a bandit man and make them fuck, right? They have to find a way to they have to more or less get them together and test out this vaccine. And there's this whole scene where they find a porno and they're watching the porno and it's one of those hey, I'm the plumber. Yeah, I'm here to clean your pipes or I'm here to plunge your toilet. And so they watch these people have sex and they use the plunger in the porno. And then, because they keep in mind, it's been 23 years since people have had sex. So they don't even know what it is anymore. These young people don't even know what it is. And so then they take the bandit guy and they take the bandit, the woman, and they put the video there with them, and then they put a plunger in this, in the room with them as a prop, if you're looking for something to kind of get you in the mood, it was the weirdest damn thing. But this movie actually exists, and if you get the opportunity to see it, you should totally see it. It is terrible. We still talking about Lauren Cohen? I agree. I don't know how you did. I miss a comment about Lauren Cohen? I think she was good. All right. Eddie Evolution here says, after watching 2 seasons of Harley Quinn, I feel like Peter Dinklage could play Dr. Psycho in World War III and Wonder Woman 3. Yeah, I'd like to see Peter Dinklage play that. Sure. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I love Tony Hale in the role. So, I mean, I'm a little bit biased to Tony Hale being in that role because I love him. So there's that. Let's see here. Osmandius here says, anything Stanley Kubrick should not get rebooted. All of his movies are great. Yeah. I'm not going to disagree with you on that one. I think if they were to come back and go we're going to because I mean, they've done he did The Shining. And then in the late 90s, they did ABC did a miniseries, a made-for-TV miniseries, 2 parts of The Shining, more of a faithful adaptation. And it had Rebecca De Mornay in the Shelley Duvall role and Steven Weber from Wings as Jack Torrance. And I forget who played the caretaker, but it was good. It was definitely good. It was definitely different. And I grew up watching Kubrick's The Shining. So the always with the foreboding sense of dread that the soundtrack to that movie elicited was nowhere to be found. And so while it was a good adaptation, a decent adaptation, it pales in comparison to the original for me, just because of how impactful that movie was on me as a kid. But I'll tell you this, I still haven't seen Dr. Sleep yet. And I've heard that Doctor Sleep serves as a very, very good sequel to The Shining, as well as its own kind of thing. And so I do need to see Doctor Sleep. I do have The Shining here on 4K. So when I get my new TV, I'm going to hook my Xbox One X up and I'm going to sit in there. And the TV's got Bluetooth. So I can plug my headphones in at night and sit there and just like watch The Shining in 4K. I also got Jaws in 4K too. I am so pumped to sit down and watch Jaws in 4K. Cannot wait. Love that stuff. Let's see here. So Ryan says, so a trauma version of Children of Men. Yeah, that would be about right. Yeah. That would be about right. 100% agree. Let's see. Kira Kaman says, I'd like to see a Logan's Run remake, but it's been in development hell for like 20 years. Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. The guy who wrote the book, co-wrote the book, I met him once. I met him when I lived in LA, and I went to this writer's meeting and he was there, and like, I forget his name, like James something, I think, but he died a couple years back, unfortunately. But like, he did not look like a writer. He looked like a hobo that had wandered in to Universal Studios backlot. Like the dude had like long, like Howard Hughes style fucking fingernails and like, you know, David Lopan in human form hair. And like, he looked cool fucking dude, but like, he just did not look like you think. And I'm like, yeah, I got introduced to him and my friend's like, yeah, he's the writer of Logan's Run. I'm like, holy shit. But the thing is, like, Logan's Run, the movie is really good. I could see being remade. And I know Nicholas Winding Rain, whatever his name, if I'm probably saying that wrong. I know he wanted to remake it with Ryan Gosling in the Logan role. But I mean, you know, Michael York did a good job back in the day. So did Jenny Agutter. And I mean, you couldn't put Ryan Gosling in the role now. The motherfucker, I think, is older than me. And I'm 38, almost 39. So I don't see it as being a thing. You know, let's see here. All right. DJ Mitz says, Dr. Sleep is okay if you forget about Kubrick's vision, but you can't help but pick it apart. I don't know. I would try not to do that. I love Kubrick's vision. It's so iconic. It's very much like definitely part of Americana, part of cinema. But Mike Flanagan, I think it's Mike Flanagan, is the director, and that dude gets Stephen King. So as far as and I've heard nothing but good things about Dr. Sleep, the extended cut of Dr. Sleep, which is on HBO Max, which I need to walk. Yeah. Okay. Or just say NWR. Yeah, it's a good idea, but most people may not know what the hell that is. Let's see here. It is good. And I could have had seen Gosling back in this heyday. Yeah, man. Gosling back, but Gosling now is older. He wouldn't be able to play it unless they extended it out, but 27 made sense back then. William F. Nolan. Yeah, that was the guy that I met. Let's see. The effects have not aged well for Logan's Run. They're not terrible either, though, dude. That's the thing. When you're talking, it's like go back and look at like the 1968 Planet of the Apes. Do the effects of Dr. Zaius, do they hold up at all? Hell no. No, they don't hold up, especially compared to the Planet of the Apes trilogy that we got from in the last couple years. But you can still go back and watch Charlton Heston in that movie. The first two movies, and it still has a certain aesthetic to it that holds. It still holds true. Some movies can look at Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's been 40 years this year since Raiders came out. By the way, they just announced in May the complete edition of Indiana Jones is going to be the 4 movies in a 4K pack is coming out in May. So they're doing another re-release. I bought Indiana Jones on DVD when they released the trilogy. I think it was like October 2003. I bought it. And then in May 2013, so 10 years later, almost 10 years later, they released the Blu-ray pack of the 4, which I bought. And then now they're going to be doing the 4K, which I will be buying as well in a few months. I need to go pre-order it. Raiders is my favorite movie of all time. That movie 100% holds up. Even 40 years later, it holds up. Die Hard holds up 40 years later. Movies that you would think might be dated can hold up because people love them so much and because they were made with great care. And I think also we as fans just really enjoy the idea of just really kind of getting in, of just like these movies hold up for us personally. So some movies may not hold up for you. They hold it like Pirates of the Caribbean. The first one absolutely holds up. The fifth one, not so much. Like the original trilogy of Star Wars holds up. The Phantom Menace, not so much. Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, much better than Phantom Menace, but still problematic. Although Revenge of the Sith is the shit, so let's be fair. Will The Last Jedi hold up? I don't know. It's been 2 years. I don't want to watch it again. Or it's been 3 years. It's been 1 year since Rise of Skywalker. That movie's not going to hold up over time. I think The Force Awakens will. I think The Force Awakens will hold up over time. But The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, not so much, unfortunately. Let's see here. Eddie Evolution says, could Rick Moranis still appear in Ghostbusters Afterlife? Many trades say he's not, but neither Jason Reitman nor Moranis himself have confirmed anything. I think they're waiting on that, to be honest with you. I do think that is the, that is the whole thing. I think that's going to be the big reveal. Louis Tully showing up. Everyone wants it. Gridania here says the Equalizer TV show from 1985 to 1989 starring Edward Woodward is getting rebooted. With Queen Latifah. That's kind of weird considering there was 2 kick-ass movies with Denzel. I don't know. Let's see here. Does anyone know if Venom 2 is going to be rated R? First trailer is coming February 7th. I think it might be rated R. I think with the announcement that Deadpool is going to be rated R in the MCU is definitely I think that Sony's going to go for it first. All right. Osmandius says here, expect all movie trailers we want, like Kong versus Godzilla, Zack Snyder Justice League to be Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah, I think Warner's is going to drop a lot of cash on Super Bowl trailers. So let's see here. Comic Book Fan Gaming says all that what you're saying is in opinions based. Yes, if you're saying everything I'm saying is opinions based, then yes, that is true. Everything I say is an opinion. And it's based in my own opinion. But I get what you're trying to say. Something is wrong with Nicotina's chat. What's going on with Nicotina's chat? I don't know. Let's see here. All right. The success of Joker had an impact on what? On Venom 2. Yeah, I could see it having an impact on Venom 2. I could see it really having an impact on that. Joker being a $1.1 billion movie on like a $65 million budget. And it was a movie that was more or less just like a Martin Scorsese take on the Joker. And it was good. It was really good. But like, yeah. I'll tell you this though. The movie was really good, but had the media not freaked out the way that they did, it probably wouldn't have done as well. I'm just being honest with you guys on that one. Have I seen the international movies? No. I mean, I've seen international films. It's been a while since I've seen anything really. I think the last one I watched was Snowpiercer, but I wouldn't even call that international. It was just, it felt international. I don't quite know. But all right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up in about 2 minutes. Get your final questions in there. Let's see here. Ryan here says, the recent Planet of the Apes trilogy had fantastic effects, but I'm a huge fan of makeup and practical effects. Yeah. Well, I think Matt Reeves did a good job marrying the two, especially in Dawn, because Dawn was able to capture the aesthetic of like Northern California and like what felt like an apocalyptic forest environment. Oftentimes when we see the apocalypse, it's like desert, it's like the nuclear, like, what is it? The opening of A Boy and His Dog, World War IV, like lasted 4 days or some shit like that. You know what I mean? And it's all just like the desert and it's all rocks and everything else. That's what I'm thinking. They're like, we mostly look at apocalypse movies like that, but with Dawn and War, both of those were very much in the realm of like, the forest and the mountains, in the winter for like you had apes in the winter for war. So it's one of those things where you're like the aesthetic of it matches with the technology that they were able to do. And it presented the apocalypse in a different way, which I thought was actually pretty chill. So I'm okay with that kind of stuff. I want to see more. All right. Let's see here. Anthony heard that Danny DeVito might be in Flashpoint. Yeah, I heard that too, man. I heard that too. I saw that thing today. That's kind of stupid. I don't know, man. I don't know. These rumors are killing me. They're absolutely fucking killing me right now. They're terrible shit. All right. Music Man says, what films do you want to see in theaters? Or do you want to see this year? Well, obviously Fast 9. I want to see everything I missed last year. Ghostbusters, Bond. I want to see Venom. I want to see Morbius. You know, there's a lot coming out that I want to see. It's I like the idea of being able to watch the Warner Brothers movies at home this year. But I'll tell you this, though. It's been a couple weeks since Wonder Woman. It's been like 2 weeks, and it leaves at the end of the month. And I haven't even had a desire to go back and watch it again. You know, I have not had a desire to go back and watch it again. Maybe I'll give it a shot before it goes away, but that's not what I'm looking for to watch. So anyway, going back to the whole, I want to end it real quick by talking about the Wonder Woman Oscars thing, because I kind of made that the thumbnail. That's all that is Warner Brothers flexing for the sake of trying to get people to come and get HBO Max subscriptions. The idea is this: Warner Brothers comes out and they go, we're floating Wonder Woman 84, an objectively bad story, by the way, and an objectively not good movie. But they're floating it for Best Picture. Now, some people are going to look at that and go, well, Black Panther was up for Best Picture. Black Panther was a good movie. Okay, I want to see Wonder Woman 84. It's Warner's using that particular release, that press release, in order to take over the news cycle to push Wonder Woman for the last couple weeks on HBO Max, trying to get more subscriptions. Because the question becomes, as we get closer to the end of that first month, how many people are not going to keep their subscriptions? That's going to be the key. And I know there's a new movie with Denzel and Jared Leto coming out here pretty soon on HBO Max, so that could keep things going. I'm going to keep my subscription because I like it. But there's a lot going on with that people, you know, that we're going to see being heavily looked at and heavily scrutinized. So, all right. Yeah. Fourth here says, I agree with you. This is the last thing tonight. HBO Max needs to flex those subscriber numbers. I completely agree. I completely agree. They need to come out. They need to flex it. You know, they need to smack it on the table, cock smack everybody else, and just go like, we've got the numbers, bitches. I don't think they will. I don't think they will, though. I don't know why they won't. They're using this like this wishy-washy. We've had, you know, X amount of people. The words they use, like half of our subscriber base watched Wonder Woman 84. Okay, well, that was 12 million people. So 6 million people saw it. Cool. The old guard, right? Like that Netflix movie that came out last year. I think it was like 96 million households watched it in like the first weekend. 96 million compared to 6 million. You know what I mean? Like, it's all about the numbers and it's all about perception, and that's how they want to play it. But anyway, guys, all right, that is the end for me. I do appreciate everyone coming and checking out. I'll be back on tomorrow night when I get home from driving. These are always fun to talk with you guys, like an hour, just chill out, hang out and shit. If you guys haven't already, be sure to follow me on Twitter, @mjarbo. Take a look for the tag HWAD for Hollywood After Dark. I'll see you all later. Have yourself a great night. Thank you again for watching, and peace out.